Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Imran Sarwar. Today's topic is rickets in children. Let's start with a clinical scenario. A 2-year male child presented to you with history of pain and bowing of legs. He is on cow's milk, weaning diet is not proper. On examination, a child who is failure to thrive. The fontanelle is wide open. Forehead is prominent. There is flat occiput. Both the wrists are wide. X-ray of the lower limb shows a green fracture at the pain site and cupping and fraying of both radius and ulna. Rickets is actually defective mineralization of the growing bone. The lead osteoid in growing bone is not calcified properly, and if this is occurring in adults, this is known as osteomalacia. A good balance in vitamin D, calcitriol, parathyroid hormone, calcium and phosphorus in the body is required to maintain the proper mineralization of the bones. There are many causes of rickets. If there is an imbalance between these elements in the body, like if there is a deficiency of vitamin D, that will result in vitamin D deficient ricket. If there is deficiency of calcium or phosphorus, this will also lead to rickets in children. So in children, nutritional aspects are very important in the pathophysiology of rickets in children. Sources of vitamin D are through ultraviolet light, which is present in the sunlight, cod liver oil, and inactive form of vitamin D2 as ergosterol, which is present in milk, and human milk contains little vitamin D3. This is the schematic diagram showing the pathophysiology of metabolism of vitamin D and rickets, which I will tell you in the subsequent slides. Vitamin D is actually a group of sterols having similar activities. Vitamin D3 or cholecalciferol is formed in the skin by the action of ultraviolet light on 5-dihydrotestosterone. The cholecalciferol or vitamin D3 become active in 2 steps. In the liver, cholecalciferol is hydroxylated to 25-hydroxycholecalciferol by the enzyme 25-hydroxylase. The second hydroxylation occurs in the kidney In the proximal renal tubule cells of the kidney, 25-hydroxypolycalciferol undergoes a second hydroxylation catalyzed by the enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase to form the active form 1,25-dihydroxypolycalciferol. This is the active form of vitamin D. Second important hormone in the metabolism of calcium is the calcitriol. It promotes absorption of calcium and phosphorus from the intestine. It increases reabsorption of phosphate in the kidney. It acts on bone to release calcium and phosphorus. The incidence of rickets increasing internationally due to the less exposure to the sunlight due to indoor games instead of playing outdoor. The clinical signs of rickets from head to toe are prominent forehead, flat or prominent occiput, frontal bossing, pigeon-shaped chest, depressed rib, curved humerus, kyphosis or scoliosis, pot belly or protuberant abdomen, curved femur, bowing of the leg, Harrison sulcus. These are all the manifestations of rickets. Here you can see bowing of leg in the form of genu varum, and on the other extreme knock knees in the form of genu valgum. Here you can see the rib cage, you can see the ricketic rosary. Ricketic rosary is actually the prominent, the costochondral junction. They become prominent and they appear as bead. This is, here you can see the wide wrist in both the hands. A frontal bossing and bowing of the tibia, scoliosis and Harrison sulcus with pot belly. The differential diagnosis include hypophosphatasia, metaphyseal dysplasia like Jensen syndrome or Smith type of metaphyseal dysplasia, hypophosphatemic ricket. This is also known as vitamin D resistant ricket, severe calcium deficiency syndrome or severe phosphorus deficiency. The workup should include measurement of the serum calcium, phosphorus, alkaline phosphatase activity, parathyroid hormone, 25-hydroxy vitamin D level, 125-dihydroxy vitamin D level, and radiograph of the affected bone. The low ionized calcium in the body will result in increased secretion of parathyroid hormone that will result in decreased phosphorus in the body. Alkaline phosphatase activity is increased. Radiographic appearance of rickets are generalized osteopenia, cupping of the metaphysis, fraying of the edges, and widening of the metaphysis. Here you can see the fraying of the metaphysis and cupping of both the radius and ulna. In this picture, radiograph, you can see bowing of the both the leg leading to genu varum deformity. Here you can see the widened metaphysis of the lower limb. The mainstay in the treatment of rickets is the administration of vitamin D along with calcium. The administration of vitamin D may be gradual or it may be in mega doses. If the gradual method is chosen, 5,000 to 10,000 international units of vitamin D should be given in 3 months until the signs of healing they appeared on the X-rays and the alkaline phosphatase activity become normalizes. If a mega dose of vitamin D is selected, then it should be given in 4 to 6 doses over a period of 3 to 4 days. In this case, 3 lakh international unit of vitamin D3 should be given to children under 2 years of age, and 6 lakh of international units of vitamin D should be given above 2 years of age. The response to this therapy will result in increase in the phosphorus in the body after 96 hours of mega dose and appearance of healing on X-ray in after 1 week. These are the forms of vitamin D which I have told you earlier. Thank you.